One of the craziest events on the PGA Tour is this week, the Waste Management Phoenix Open. It holds hundreds of thousands of people and is one of the most exciting stops on the PGA Tour. Let's get into it with a full breakdown of a course preview, what TPC Scottsdale requires of players. We'll talk the biggest storylines, including a few new players on the PGA Tour will be starting their season this week, and then a new segment called Taft's Approach to Green, where I give you some betting profiles that I think fit the course mold this week. And finally, we top it off with our first guest of the pod. Sia Nejad joins the show, a golf betting expert, and he will be sharing his picks to top it all off. Let's get right into it. A quick course preview of the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale, famous for the 16th hole, the par 3. It's a short par 3. However, because of all the people watching and it being one of the biggest, loudest spaces in all of golf, it is one of the toughest tee shots players will hit all year. After 16, you get 17 and 18 finishing holes that have water all throughout, mainly closer to the green. Those are 2 of the 6 holes at TPC Scottsdale that feature water. It's a true desert style golf course in Scottsdale, Arizona. Driving accuracy, a premium. However, it's generally a birdie fest. The winning scores around 20 under par or even lower. Short game's going to be key. Let's get into some of the biggest storylines this week. Viktor Hovland's making his first start. He doesn't have a great history here. He's actually skipped over this week the last couple years, but he'll be in the field. 7 former Waste Management Phoenix Open champions in the field: Gary Woodland, Ricky Fowler, who we'll be hearing about later. Webb Simpson won it in 2020. That's one of my guys, a North Carolina native. And then Nick Taylor won in 2024. Last year's winner, Thomas Dietrich, he's now on Live Golf, so he will not be playing this week, to say the least. Speaking of Live Golf, 2-time winner Brooks Koepka in the field. He was the big storyline last week at the Farmers Insurance. He ended up making that cut, which was huge for him, he said, because he got to play 4 days of golf. His previous results at Waste Management have been very solid. He won it in 2021, and then he had a T3 in 2022, his last appearance. So not only is he coming off a made cut, not only is he finally feeling comfortable back on the PGA Tour, he just embodies that stadium raucous atmosphere that you're going to get from the fans this week in Arizona. Hideki Matsuyama, a 2-time winner, hasn't won since 2018, but his results at TPC Scottsdale, hear me out, in 12 starts, 2 wins, 4 top 5s, 9 top 25s. So in all but 3 of his 12 starts, he's finished inside the top 25. Watch out for Hideki. Also, watch out for Scotty Scheffler, who's back in the field for his second event this season. He won it at the Amex 2 weeks ago, joining Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods as the only golfers with 20 PGA Tour wins before the age of 30. The best part about all of this is his first PGA Tour win ever was at the Phoenix Open. Guess when that was? 2022. It's just 4 years later after getting his first win, he comes back with 20 wins. Just absolutely incredible stuff there from the world number 1. Other notable players with some recent success at the Phoenix Open: Jordan Spieth has finished inside the top 6 in his last 3 starts here. Cam Young, who we're going to hear about later from Sia, he has finished inside the top 12 in back-to-back starts here at Phoenix Open. And then Sam Burns, one of the best putters in the world, finished T6 in 2023 and T3 in 2024. Just throwing these names out there because I might not mention them in my picks, but I want to make sure you have them in your mind as you go through the card. Other golfers playing well: Siwoo Kim, a lot of people are talking about this week. He's finished top 12 in all 3 PGA Tour starts. And I'm going to briefly mention this one because I can assure you I'll be talking about him again. Maverick McNeely, T24 and T10 in his first 2 starts this year. Let's get into our new segment, Taft's Approach to Green. Green not only being the putting surface, but also the money that we hope to make you based on these betting profiles that I will be keeping my eye on this week at TPC Scottsdale. The first, let's go right back to him. The world number 1, Scotty Scheffler, is plus 210. The shortest odds in the tournament's history. They only go back to 2008 when they started putting odds on these players, but these are the shortest for sure. The one before that was Scotty last year at plus 250. However, he didn't win last year. He finished T25, a rare poor performance at TPC Scottsdale because he has played well here in the past. 2 wins, 4 top 10s, and 6 career starts. So he does like this golf course, rest assured. And one thing about Scotty, people say that he doesn't win back-to-back tournaments. He did it last May when he won the PGA Championship, and he had won the week prior. However, you look at his last few tournaments, it's a win, a T3, a win, a T4, a win, a T6. So he likes to do it every other tournament. That's not keeping me away from Scotty, especially after he took last week off. He's the only golfer in the field with shorter odds than 20-1. Just think about that. It's crazy, but hear me out. I think you have to either take that or you bet in the without Scheffler market for all these other guys, which basically means they can get second place. But if Scotty's in first and they're in second, then that bet cashes. Some players I'm going to be doing that for. Xander Schauffele. I know he missed the cut last week. He snapped the longest streak of consecutive cuts made at 72 tournaments in a row. However, that didn't stop Justin Rose from winning last week, did it? He had missed the cut in his first event on PGA Tour this season, and then he goes on to win in his next one. Xander Schauffele, after missing the cut in his first PGA Tour start, went on to say his game does not feel far off. He doesn't feel like he's in a place where maybe Colin Morikawa is, where he's just trying to figure it out, trying to reshape his iron shots. He feels good about his game. He just didn't have his best performance at Torrey Pines, which is his home golf course. So he missed the cut, and he got to go back home and spend some time with family. I think that's going to be good for the mentals. I like Xander, especially because you're getting a better price on him since he missed the cut. He was 12-1 odds last week to win it all, the favorite. Now he's 20-1. You look at how he's done here at TPC Scottsdale. He took the past 2 years off where he hasn't played in this event since 2023. However, he played in it every year going back to 2018 before that. These are his results. T17, T10, T16, T2, T3, T10. So top 10 in his last 3 tournaments here, with tied for 17th being his worst performance ever at TPC Scottsdale. I think Xander can win. I'm certainly going to be betting him in the without Scotty Scheffler market. Another player I'll mention, I mentioned him every week, and he has not let me down in my DFS lineup. That's Maverick McNeely. He has a great recent performance here, his last 2 years finishing T6 and T9. So he's teetering on the edge of getting a win here at TPC Scottsdale. He shot a 63 in the 3rd round last year. If he can string together a couple 63s this year, he's going to be hoisting that trophy on Sunday. I'll be betting him outright and in the without Scheffler market, as well as probably top 10, because he finishes top 10 at around 25% going back to last year. That's 6th ranked compared to all of the other golfers on tour. Shout out Rick Gaiman for that stat. One more name, kind of a long shot here, but another betting profile in Taft's approach to green that sticks out to me, Sahith Theegala. He has great memories of this place. T3 in 2022, 5th in 2024, and he's coming off his 100th his 100th cut made on the PGA Tour. His dad and his family wore shirts all throughout Torrey Pines. Just good vibes from Theegala. He's going to be a fan favorite, and he is officially back. He didn't play well last year. He's going to have a good 2026. Maybe he really makes his mark on the calendar year with a win at TPC Scottsdale. I like Theegala at a lower price. I also like one more, even though I said Theegala was my last one, but I have to mention this in case he does go low. Minwoo Lee, who was the first-round leader in Hawaii. He was T12 last year. I think Minwoo is another player that can go low. That wraps up Taft's approach to green. Let's hear from Sia on who he's picking this week. We now welcome in our first guest on the golf previews, Sia Nejad, who I have to give you credit first. You were the one that inspired me to do the Taft's approach to green.
It's awesome.
And the play on words with the green is exactly what you encapsulate as a avid golf bettor.
Thank you.
Give me your picks, man. This is an exciting week.
It's such an exciting week. I mean, I feel like golf season already started, but I didn't know people talk about it. It's like kind of starts this week, maybe last week. Either way, Cam Young is a guy that I absolutely love. He made me some money at the end of last year, so I like Cam Young. But here's the thing, Taft. I'm not playing it in the Scotty market. I'm playing him without Scotty Scheffler, so you're going to get that around 20 to 1. I actually gave it out early at around 20 and a half to 1. It's now down to like 17 to 19 to 1 in some places. I still like it. I think Cam Young is going to do really well here. Let's see. The next one is your guy. Actually, you kind of tipped me off to him, and then I started to do some research, and I'm like, I think Taft might be on the right guy here.
I hope it is who I'm thinking.
It's Matt McNeely,
Let's go.
I mean, his last 2 times here, he's been great. And obviously the game is really trending in the right direction. We know he's a super talented golfer. Totally in on Matt McNeely. Again, in the without Scotty Scheffler market, you're looking at around 27 to 1, as low as 25 to 1. Don't mind that number at all. I think he's going to contend. And then finally, this is kind of a gut play. A guy that over the last 5 years hasn't done so well at TPC Scottsdale, but the 5 years prior, when he was in good form, he really did well, including winning this tournament. It's Ricky Fowler. I say it with some hesitation, but I think Ricky's game is really rounding into form. Off the tee, he's been really good. The complete game has kind of been there for Ricky Fowler. I think we're kind of early on Ricky Fowler here, but I do like him.
I love it. And he's a previous winner, like you said. There's 7 previous winners in the field, one of them being Brooks Koepka, who's won twice.
Yeah.
Anytime, not even this week, but in the near future that you're looking to play Koepka, the hot name in golf
so
right now?
As soon as he was reintroduced to the PGA Tour, I actually looked at him for the Masters. Wow. I don't know what the number is right now. It was 50 to 1, and I'm like, why not? Well,
sure.
Like Brooks Koepka, why not? Like, why? Big game hunter. He's done well at the Masters before. And by the time we get to Augusta, maybe the game has truly rounded in form. I think he might do just fine at the WM Phoenix Open. But at 50 to 1, as soon as those, like he was reincorporated into the odds, and again, I don't know what they are now. Maybe it's 40 to 1, 45 to 1. I think he's got a shot. That's my future on Koepka.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have a better stamina built up having playing in PGA Tour events prior, which he hasn't had in the past years. Let me hear, for those who don't know, Sia gives out golf picks everywhere, on his Twitter, on podcasts, on the Early Wedge, all over Sportsline as well. And you've kind of become like the FRL king. You just dish out first-round leaders that cash in and out. Have you been able to look at that yet for this week?
I have. So I've got a few here. So I'm going to narrow it down as I talk to you. I did hit Pearson Cootie a couple of weeks ago. It was a split pot, if you will, 25 to 1. Okay, so Cam and Mav Young are on my list. They're my outrights. I don't always like transfer the outrights over to the first round leader market, but that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to go with Cam at 35 to 1, Mav at 43 to 1. Now, I'm probably only going to have 1 or 2 guys left here because these are kind of short numbers for first round leaders. So help me out here. I got Burns at 42 to 1, Ricky 55, and Nikolai Højgaard at 60. If you had to pick one of those 3 guys, who would you pick?
Got to be Ricky. You were.
All right.
I was waiting for you to say him because you have him outright in the without market, and I feel like one thing we can definitely get from Ricky this week is one super low round.
Thank you. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I could see him having like a 62 in there and not even winning the tournament. Mm-hmm. But if that 62 is going to be on Thursday, you want to have some money on it.
Right, and he's 55 to 1 in the first round leader market. So we're looking at Cam at 35 to 1, we're looking at Mav at 43 to 1, and we're looking at Ricky Fowler at 55 to 1.
My man.
Let's go.
Thank you, Sia.
Yeah, man.
That was Sia Nejad, one of my favorite people in the golf media industry. Make sure you check out his stuff on Twitter, on Instagram, and always listen into the Sportsline Early Edge and Early Wedge podcasts, which he is the host of. I really hope one of those FRL leaders hits because we might go viral if it does. Thank you again to him for coming on. He was the one who inspired me this week in our office here at CBS Sports to start my own segment that was able to stand out from other golf podcasts and platforms. And we appreciate you guys for listening. If you have any ideas, please comment them in the YouTube or wherever you may be listening. Taft's approach to green is what I came up with. I'm really happy with it, but I know that there can be more done in this space. How can I help out you guys? How can we make this podcast better? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on my socials where I post a lot of this content as well. Enjoy the golf this week. Let's have fun at TPC Scottsdale.